Artist Josee Nadeau travels the world looking for inspiration, and if her canvases are any indication, she finds it in every corner she visits. From the water lilies of Monet's gardens to the light reflecting in a window in Paris, or Italy, or Hawaii. Josee's canvases capture a moment in time and then give it back to be enjoyed again and again. I met with this Montrealer in her downtown studio and discovered an artist who is generous, kind, and above all, open to all experiences. That openness has served her well in meetings with people from all walks of life, from the Prince of Monaco to one of her most divine inspirations, George Harrison, and has shared her art with avid collectors like Pierce Brosnan and one of her personal friends, Clint Eastwood. Her press release for an upcoming auction at Christie's in New York says she has no fear of intensity and a need to feel, not to mention a sincere desire to gather inspiration from the people who surround her and to share her experiences. Well, I'm so pleased to say Josee has decided to share her experiences with us tonight. We welcome her and her beautiful paintings to our studio tonight. Thank you for being with us, Josee.
Thank you, Jamie.
Such a pleasure to have met you, and in this job you meet so many interesting people, and it's great to get to share some of what you do with the people that are watching tonight. You've traveled just about everywhere, I think, right?
Everywhere, no, but many places, yes. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your travels and your inspirations from your travels.
The travels are the source of inspiration, the openness of being able to create, to see, to feel, to enjoy, and to most of all create, to create.
You've been, of course, to Monet's garden in Paris. This was a place of great inspiration for you. Can you tell me about that?
Monet's garden is probably what put me on the map internationally. It still remains his garden, but I'm a guest of the Van de Kamps, which are the curator, and used to be curator of Versailles before. The Van de Kamps are incredible people, and it's quite something to be able to enter that world. Such an inspiration to be there, to stay. I wanted basically to learn the light through water, and what better place than to do it there.
And Mrs. Van der Kamp has asked you since the death of her father, of her husband rather, to do a very special project for her.
Yes, indeed. This is a beautiful story, and this is why it's so important, I think, in life to just be open to all the experiences possible, and this is a great example. Most of all, many years ago, Mr. Van de Kamp basically what I would do is go into his studio, not his studio, but into his bedroom, because he was bedridden at the end of his life, and he was mentally totally there, but unfortunately could not move, and which is basically where Monet used to stay. And basically I would unroll my canvas in front of him, and what an incredible experience to have his eyes just lit up and to be able just for him to enjoy and to connect again with art. And it was quite a beautiful...
and he was an artist himself.
He was an artist, and this is where the story gets even better, because Mrs. Van de Kamp just asked me to compose a book on all of his paintings. And prior to that, he was basically the curator of Versailles. So there are so many beautiful paintings that were created, and at last it can be shown to the public, and we can compose this book. So.
You're about so much more than Monet's garden, though, as well. You have, well, this beautiful creation that you see behind me. Now, is this one Paris or Italy? This is Paris.
Paris,
right?
Bedroom window.
Tell me a little bit about that one.
This is freshness, and this was every bedroom that I've stayed in, basically I've painted, and usually I go and buy flowers, and I just... first thing I do is I do a painting of it, and I remember actually being there and hearing the cafes downstairs, the cling, cling, cling in the morning of the coffee cups, and yes, it's wonderful.
I mentioned in the intro that you capture a moment in time, and I really found that visiting your gallery, that as you look at your paintings, you feel like you're taken away somewhere. Is that something that you're trying to do when you're painting?
No, because I think I live it. When you live it, of course, the mind goes away and it transports you. And that's why I think the people who collect my paintings, it's a moment that they've lived, or they would like to live, or they want to capture and keep within their homes.
And for you, they're moments that you've lived and experienced in your life. You traveled in Italy as well?
Yes, Italy, Spain.
Tell me a little bit about the difference between, say, a painting of yours that you might have painted in France and one that you might have painted in Italy.
The light. The light, the atmosphere, the people. One must be there and live it in order to paint it. You can be in a studio and paint it, but how can you paint it if you haven't tasted the wine or heard the coffee cups with the little... You can't.
And you talked to me as well about not just experiencing the painting as you create it, but you also want to place them properly. You don't want to just give these paintings to anybody, right?
No, I think that I have a very short period of time, even though it's a big period of time as an artist. It's not an actress. I'm not concerned about really a period of time that I have as far as my what I create or what I can do. But being an artist, I have a lifetime, but it's still very short, and they should be placed properly. And the people who owns them should definitely be the right people that connects with them. And it doesn't need to be a celebrity or anything like that.
It's a beautiful portrait, but you don't normally do portraits.
No, only the people I'm close to. And of course, she's just a sweetheart, and she came into my studio, and when she bought, actually she came to look at art, and I remember she wrote in my book, I came to buy paintings, but I met an angel. So next thing I know, I said, you know what, I'm going to LA, I'm bringing you 6 paintings, and sure enough, now she has a nice collection. But Clint has a painting, and when it's nice to know him.
And you have a great story about Pierce Brosnan when he was filming in Montreal, walking into your studio.
Yeah, it was another. There are so many stories.
I know. I spent a little time with
Montreal. These are the one in Montreal, but there are some everywhere, wherever I travel. Pierce had come into the gallery, and it's interesting because Pierce right now, I think, is just doing a movie with Francis in Ireland. But Pierce came in and basically was just dancing through the canvas and saying, I want them all. And it was magical to watch him just dance through the canvases. And then, of course, he purchased a painting, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
So many